Okay, we're live. It's James Middick speaking, trainingsites.io. Welcome to another open classroom. It's Wednesday, March 19th, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to another one. I've been doing these for a while now. They're a lot of fun. These are absolutely live, open here, taking questions, anything you want to know about what I know about AI, creating online courses, more importantly, learning campuses that privately branded space or platform where you can share all the stuff that you know and earn some money doing that. So again, if the have any questions, make sure to put them into the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. These ones are live. I'm here by myself, so if it gets kind of lost or I get a little bit behind, my apologies. Trying to do this as frugally as possible in my home slash office in cold. Well, it's actually not cold today. I think it's 16 degrees here, so it's pretty warm, which is kind of nice. So again, anyone, what do you want to talk about? Ready to go. Stuff about AI we can talk about, or just the whole business model and courses. I'm up for anything today. I know I could talk about all the changes that are happening in the AI space until I'm blue in the face because stuff is happening so quickly. And it is very, very cool if you're into the education business. And it's very, very scary if you are in the traditional course business. Because I think there's some fundamental shifts happening. And if you're not on board, you're going to get left behind sooner than you know it. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do that. Training Sites, it's actually youtube.com and then the @ training sites. Would love to have you on a regular basis. I try and do at least a video once or twice every day about any of these things. So what do we got to cover today? Anything in the chat? I'll pull this up, see if we can get that in. And again, please make sure to put it in there. And again, I'll do my best to answer any of those questions as quickly as possible. I think I can, yeah, can I move that a little bit? There we go, perfect. Perfect, okay. Um, if there is, sorry, something that is kind of cool, and I will talk about that if there are no questions. The one that everyone has been talking about and how it fundamentally changes all of our businesses, again, in the education space, is this one called Manus.im, and it's an AI agent. Basically, think of it as, if you're a solopreneur or a small business owner and you have access to Manus, it's basically you just got like another person on staff who happens to be an AI agent. This thing is really cool. And again, I just did a video 10 minutes ago, a live stream that's on the channel that I did just giving my first impressions on it. I did one the day before, basically showing the results of the first two prompts that I used. But this is one of those ones that, like, every time I get up in the morning and I kind of check my feeds and my YouTube subscriptions that I've been, people that I follow, and it's like, holy crap, this stuff is happening quickly, and it is cool. So, whether you're young or you're getting on in years and you've got a life of experience behind you that you want to share, all of that stuff that you have, the knowledge you've accumulated, all of the experiences you've had. This is just a really cool time to be able to do that, and having your own personal digital assistant to just hand complete tasks off to really is going to be cool and a lot of fun moving forward. So what do we got here? Any questions? Oh, there we go. We got one question. Perfect. Let me pull this up, see who's here. Tora, hey, good morning. New Zealand, I think it is, right? I'm pretty sure it's New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Let me make my head a little bit bigger. Give me a thumbs up if it is New Zealand. I know we talked yesterday, I think, just briefly on the Training Sites campus, and it was either Australia or New Zealand. So give me a thumbs up if it is New Zealand, because I got a great story about New Zealand, which I visited a while ago. There we go. Early December, been a ride. Perfect. Yeah, thanks for joining in. It has been a ride, and that's the part that's kind of really cool. So let me know. Like, you got to tell me. I'll just get ranting if you don't give me a topic or something to talk about. I'll just get talking, and I think the exciting one, or the thing, it's New Zealand. Perfect. I was in Wellington actually, and it was actually just after the earthquake. The earthquake was like 2 weeks before, I think, and I was in New Zealand, which is the North Island, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely loved it there. It was really, really cool. Had a great time. Yeah, so I would go again. Definitely go to New Zealand. That was a very hip place. So welcome and thanks for coming on. I know you talked, I think, about the business. Is there a question? Like, give me a question that you have, and I'll answer it. If you don't, what I will do is we can go through a little bit of Manus if you want, and or just kind of the changes in the business models. Because one of the questions that I do get asked is, I have a course, or I'm thinking of a course, or I want to be able to have a business selling courses or information. What kind of platform, or where, or how do I turn it into a business? So if that's something that you're interested in doing, we can certainly do that as well. That's a pretty easy one to kind of put your head around. I can show you how I've got mine set up, how some other people have theirs set up, and then you can kind of make some decisions on what it is that you want to do with that. Okay, so um, business models. Here's, I wish I had the one. Yeah, business models. I got a thumbs up for business models, so that must be good. Um, here's kind of I'm going to talk a little bit about Manus. While I get a question today. Okay, if I can't do Manus, we'll do that one quickly, and then I'll get into the business models. And again, I'll just show it to you because I got it, and it is in some of the other videos, so it's not. This isn't the only place to do it. And the first thing is to recognize is that Manus is not Manus.ai, even though it gets called Manus AI, it's actually manus.im. So it's manus.im. And when you visit the site, you will get a different page than this. It's because I'm logged in that I actually get to see this particular page. So that's the Manus interface, and it's almost identical to any of the other ones that you've actually seen before. So pretty straightforward. Just a couple things I will touch on just so that you can see a little bit of the differences there, and I'll try and make this bigger so you can see it, and we'll get my head out of the way as well. So hopefully that will help out there. Yeah, so on up and down on the left-hand side here, we have basically the tasks that you're doing. When you get started, when you're first starting out, the first time that you log in, you will get, let me just see where we got, you'll get 3 tasks to do. So you don't get unlimited tasks like any of the other tools. The problem that they're having right now is the server capacity at the back end. Um, you basically, you get 3 tasks up front, and then from the research that I've been doing on their Discord server, which is kind of their little bit of a community that confuses the heck out of me on how to use that, but you get one every 24 hours. So you use one. If you don't have any left, you have to wait 24 hours before you get another one. So I have one left. I haven't used it, and that's something I'm going to be doing after we get off the call here. So that's the first thing to kind of note. You do get a Manus account. You have to go to manus.im. There's a button that says get started, and you basically have to join up for an invitation list. And when you do that, it'll ask for your email, your name, and then you have to give a little bit of a blurb on why you think you should get access. So, I did it actually, I did it twice with the same email address. I just kind of got a little more aggressive on the message. And then the next day I got the invitation email saying, hey, you're in, click here to get started. I don't know if that's why it did it, but I would obviously go and apply for the wait list as much as possible. Now I don't know if it's true, but I read that there was 2 million people on the wait list, which is a huge number. It means you might be waiting, but I think with all the buzz around it, they're going to be getting a lot of interest corporately or like financially from the investors, and they'll be able to spin up pretty quickly the amount of bandwidth their server and their infrastructure has to be able to do this. So that's kind of the cool thing. You only get a number of tasks. The other thing at the bottom is you're going to see there's a little icon here at the bottom, and it's like an open book. The way that they do that kind of special instructions is they just have a thing that they call a knowledge book. So it's kind of like your notebook, and you can put in some knowledge from it. And when I did a task, it basically said, hey, do you want to add this to your knowledge book or your book? And I basically did it. And you can assign it. If you add knowledge, it basically says, give it a name here. It says, when do you want to use it? And then the content of it. And when you do this part, you can say use it here or use it there. So this is something that I would think you might put, if you have a particular style that you want the responses in, or if you have brand information that you always want to use, whether they be, for example, colors or brand messages or big fat claims, you'd probably be able to use that one there. Otherwise, the settings are pretty straightforward. There's not much, in terms of a profile. You have some different, different looks to it, but it's pretty straightforward in that respect. The other thing is when you're using it, and when you click the attach, the only thing is when you click the attach, it basically brings up a way for you to attach documents. It doesn't say specifically, audio files, Google Docs. It doesn't allow you to search there. I haven't tried any of this yet, so that's probably that you might want to be able to use on that. So again, pretty straightforward interface, nothing special there. And you basically just give it a task and it will go out and do it. And in the video I did a couple minutes ago, if you want to go and actually see the stuff that I did behind the scenes and these tasks here, the one thing that I will tell you doing this is whenever you're doing the tasks now, break your tasks up, because the problems that I ran into was that it ran into a or context window, I guess, which is kind of the sandbox that they have. It's like I did tasks that were way too big and it filled up the sandbox, too much information, and it stalled at the end. So I would break up any of the tasks that you're thinking of doing as not as finely, but as logically and or appropriate as well. So instead of going for the home run, like get on base first. Do one task, added a second task, and a third one. So if you know you only have three, might be a good idea maybe just to pick or break your project down that you want, break it into three tasks and see if you can get those done individually for a particular one. And again, the difference between Manus, and I covered these a couple of videos if you haven't seen them yet, and specifically this one, I'll open this one up so that you have it. Um, yeah, this one that I did a little bit earlier, my first impressions. Um, the one thing that just to remember is that ChatGPT and the traditional AI tools is you give a prompt, you get a response back in the form of data. The next step up from that is kind of this research one where you say, look, I have this work that I want you to do. I want you to go search everywhere and then come back with a complex, detailed response, which is deep research. What happens is this AI, Manus AI, what it does is you say, go do all of this research, but then what I want you to do is I want you to do this work. And in many cases, it might be something like create the course content, create the marketing material, build a website, and hopefully, although that's the part I haven't been able to test, is doing something like saying, hey, you built the course, you built the marketing material, upload it to my website or my learning campus and actually post it as live, make it available for this price, and then send out the emails that you created in the research part of the task part. So that's where Manus is exciting. It's not there yet, but it's getting very, very close. And I would think in the next, 30, 60 days, um, a lot of these issues are going to be kind of taken care of, which changes a whole other piece when we're going about, creating a business or an online business. So any other questions there? Let me know. What do we got for questions? Give me a thumbs up or something just to work on. If not, I can talk a little bit about the business model that I'm using and or the traditional ones that a lot of people have been taught or are using in the past, and why I think they're kind of, I don't know I don't know if the word is silly right now, but I'm having a lot of business sense problem thinking about things the way that I used to think about them. And this is this is kind of a blessing and a curse, because I started, someone was laughing at me yesterday because uh, I was on with someone, actually the yeah, another group of people I was working with who have got a real estate community that they're building out. And one of the things was we were talking just business model perfect from the Forex codes. Yeah, so this was interesting. One of the things that is a problem for me personally, and again, I don't know the ages of everyone, but the first domain that I had was in 1996, virtualselling.com. So I registered that. I still own it, Virtual Selling, but it was from 1996. And I went full time in 99, I think, doing digital projects or digital products and selling courses online. So I got all this baggage on how stuff is supposed to be done. And I'm struggling with it in some respects, because now what I think should be done for courses is based on the way it used to be done. And this AI stuff is completely challenging all the stuff that I thought was appropriate. So if you're older and you have been watching YouTube videos and maybe you do have a business that you've been running in the past, you might be going, oh, I'm supposed to do it this way. Fundamentally, I don't, I see a lot of people struggling with it because it's not working, and I don't think it's going to work in the future. So in any of these business models that you're looking at, or maybe you're being kind of traditional way of looking things, all I'm suggesting is that open your eyes a little bit and think about not what's going to happen or what happened in the past, but what's happened in the last 3 months, the last 6 months, and what's going to happen in the next 9 months or year. And I've said this over the last couple of videos. The guy from Anthropic, the CEO of Anthropic, a course for mine in 2002. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing at that point. Was it actually, was it one of the ones that was where I was doing the whiteboard video? I actually I was kind of way ahead of the time there. I had a whiteboard called a Mimeo, and I had a mic on myself, and basically I'd write on the whiteboard and the whiteboard would show up on the video. So that's how I was actually creating those courses. I wonder who the Forex code is. I don't remember that username, but anyways, thanks a lot. Yeah, so the business model thing, just back to the business models. I the whole way of thinking about selling courses, there's a lot of people struggling with that. And that if you get told that all you have to do is create a course and you're going to earn money, there's some people that are doing it. Yeah, you may have people that maybe have an existing customer base, or someone that has an additional business or service that they provide, and then they go, yeah, I'm going to add a course. There are people that do well in the short term for that, and the issue becomes is that if you're starting off cold and you either don't have a particular market that is already captive, knows, likes, and trusts you, to think that you're going to be able to create a course now and go and sell that and build a business out of it, it ain't going to happen. And the reason I say that is I'm at the point now with the way that I've been using AI tools and I've been learning about these AI tools, is that if you tell me, I want to create a course on Forex, I want to create a course on how to play piano or how to play guitar, or I want to create a course on how to be a professional speaker, or I want to create a course on how to write a cookbook. Technically, I could create with AI a pretty solid course in technically a couple hours. I could get the content done, the site created, and that stuff all put together. And that's today. So if it's 3 months from now or 6 months from now, and you think all I need to do is to create some courses and I'm going to be able to sell them and make money, it ain't going to happen. And it's either going to get worse because the amount of content that's coming out now is nothing compared to the amount of content that's going to be coming out in the next year. So I think when we look at a business model, or if you're going to be in the education space for business model, I'm not betting on courses. I think courses are now a supplement to teaching online. And if you're going to be teaching online, you have to have your own platform to teach from. And I think, again, if you're in the education space and you're serious about it, you have to think a little bit bigger on how am I going to create my own personally branded platform where I can put my content that may or may not be in the form of courses, mini courses, micro courses, tutorials, prompts, checklists, PDFs, all of that content that I've created. And then I also have the ability to teach or be involved personalizing and or guiding people through this information, and having or building your business around a platform and you and or your content. That is the business play that we're going to see moving forward. So this, how right now it's like it's the playing field is like, courses are kind of cool. There's people that don't have courses, and then there's people who are that are maybe in the real live speaking and seminar space, or they may have some other service that they have. I think there's going to be a hollowing out of the pricing of stuff. You're going to have all of the people who are just selling courses. You're going to end up free courses, $2 courses, $1 courses, and there's going to be a ton of people fighting in there. And then there's going to be people that treat it as a business and are actually working with people. You're going to be able to charge a lot more money by including your time with your content. And having a platform for that is kind of the space that we have to be, kind of thinking of in the big term. So that's the first thing. Again, my thoughts on this. A number of the people that are older school traditional marketers that I grew up with, many of them now have done exactly this. I see that they're in their own community now, focused on their own community, and they're teaching with their content and supplementing the learning with their course content. So it's more about, hey, here's the implementation of the content. Here's the content. Here's your task. Go and do it, and then come back and let's talk. Or here's the content. Let's implement it together and see what works and see what doesn't work, and then be able to guide people through the options that are available to people. So that's kind of the first thing when you're thinking about the business model. That's the big shift that I see happening, moving forward. And that requires a commitment by you, right? If you're going to treat it as a business, that changes kind of what you're focusing on. Not creating a course to sell, or how am I going to teach someone to get something done that I've done in the past that I've got a lot of experience about, that I'm passionate about, and I want to charge some money for. And I think if you do take that approach, a business approach, the other real benefit is that because you are included with your information, and again, you or your business, it doesn't have to be you specifically. And again, that's a whole other discussion about making sure that that you didn't get tied to your community, but that amount of profit and amount you can charge for is far greater than trying to fight on just selling a course. I did another video talking about revenue streams. I think I came up with 16 or 18 different revenue streams. So if you're in the education space, a course is just one of those revenue streams. There's all sorts of different ways to do it. And a business uses multiple revenue streams whenever possible, not just, hey, I got my course, I created my course, I sold 25 people, and I got $10,000 or $15,000 for the course. Great. If you can do that, go and do that, but it's not a business. So hopefully that kind of helps out positioning things there to start. Madagascar, Davida, I hope it's Davida. When starting an education space, what's the best way to establish a presence? Do I need a website, or is there a better platform to begin with? What an excellent question. Here's my personal kind of gist on it. Again, this is the way that I do it. It's not the only way to do it. But for me personally, I am incredibly cheap and I'm incredibly lazy. So the way I do it, and I'll tell you why in a second, is all I do is YouTube. That's the only marketing that I do. And I create content on YouTube, nothing else. I don't do any ads. I don't actively post on social media. I do post on social media, but it's automated. It's not me doing it. I don't spend anything on social media ads. I don't spend anything on Google ads. I don't do anything anymore on SEO, none of that stuff. All I do is I focus exclusively on YouTube videos. And that's a big part of it. And I think the thing that a lot of people have to get comfortable with, if you're going to be in the education space, yes, you can make these faceless videos. However, if you are going to use YouTube to market yourself and get a part of your audience or build an audience of people, it's because they know, like, and trust you and the content that you're creating about a particular topic. So using YouTube as that way to get people to wave their hand and say, yeah, absolutely, I'm all in on that. I think James is talking about this. I like the way he presents something. There's two results. People are going to go, yeah, I like it. And other people can go, what the hell's that old guy talking about? Either of those is fine. There's a big enough audience for everything. But if you're not on YouTube, where the majority of people are now searching for answers, I don't think that's a viable way to build a business. And I look at it. I did a video before about Moneyball, and if you're not familiar with the movie Moneyball and Brad Pitt, it was kind of the Oakland A's approach in Major League Baseball. Was they stopped doing and buying the big names or buying the traditional way of running the business. the whole thing in Moneyball was to just look at the numbers, and they just wanted people to get on base. That was the main foundation of their entire baseball business, was get people on base. They only wanted a team that got people on base. And I look at it, I'm playing around with YouTube, and all I'm doing is I want to get on base with YouTube. And for me to get on base with YouTube, there's two things. I want to get people to actually see the videos that I do. I want to do as many as I can. And I don't necessarily want subscribers are cool to have, obviously. But if you look on YouTube on every one of my videos, every single one of them, at the top of the video, it has join the community right here, right at the very top. So for me, the lead generation that I'm doing is getting people to join the community. I don't do any opt-in pages. I don't do any lead magnets. I don't do any low ticket offers. The only thing that I'm doing is saying, hey, join my community. My audience is YouTube. My members are the start of my community, where I start and share my information, hoping that at some point they ask for some guidance, and I'm going to say, I can certainly help you, and it costs this much money for group assistance, personal assistance, or if you just want it done for you, my agency side will basically do that for you. So it's kind of like the DIY is the information, the done with you is the group coaching and mentoring, and the done for you is the agency side. That's the way I look at it, and I bypass all of the traditional stuff that maybe was traditionally, done or told that that's the way to, that you have to do things. So in terms of a business, that's how I approach it. And the reason is because I'm lazy and there's too much to learn about all of those other pieces to do them well now. And it's so competitive. Like, I had someone yesterday and they were just talking about, hey, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a lead magnet. I'm going to pay ads on Facebook to come to my lead magnet. I'm going to charge $7 for this to get them into some sales funnel. And hopefully they'll read the $7 stuff. And then they'll read one of my emails, and then magically they're going to buy my course. I don't know about you, but if you've been online for any point of time, you know that that is something that, do you do that now? Like, honestly, ask yourself, if you got an email in your inbox and you checked it and you went to a landing page and then you downloaded a PDF on some checklist or something, did you go through the checklist? Are you using the checklist? Are you applying the checklist? Are you reading the emails, if they even did follow up because you downloaded it? And are you going and clicking on any of the links in those emails to go to a landing page to be sold on some kind of course? I'm not personally anymore. A lot of the people that I talk to aren't. If I know the marketer because I've bought from them in the past, or I'm working with them in some other fashion, or I use and I'm already applying their information, yeah, I might do that. But if it's someone who's just starting out, nah, won't even happen. And the fact that some kind of checklist or PDF you can be spun up in 10 minutes now, not much worth it. So again, that's the kind of way that I approach it. And with that, this whole business model in terms of, if you're going to be teaching online or creating education businesses, I talked about faceless videos, but if you go back to the, creating the videos now, let me just do this one here just to bring it up. If you're creating videos right now, you're in a position where you're going to have to be able to be comfortable creating video tutorials. You're going to be able to, you got to create some videos. You got to get comfortable doing it. You have to find a system that works that allows you to create them quickly, and be able to be comfortable in front of the camera. And if you're not, practice. The way that I started with this, especially the online ones, is I struggled at the start doing these on a regular basis for two reasons. Excuse me, just getting over a cold. One of the things that I had personally to deal with is I have rosacea, and rosacea is a reddening of the skin, a reddening of the face. And even though it's not perfect now, the first videos that I were doing were horrendous because I could never understand the lighting or any of those things to actually get myself not look, like I just run 10 miles and come in to do a video. So really uncomfortable doing it, but the fact is that I learned a lot getting started playing around with it. And when I first did it, I did a couple and I went, oh my God, you're not good at this. So I personally started live streaming, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But the reason that I did live streaming is twofold. One is you can do them right away and see them, but more importantly, you can do a live stream and have it be a live stream, but not available to people. And that does a couple things. One of them is it gets you in the habit of being able to present your information and your messages, hopefully in a logical fashion, being able to talk to the camera without having to do 78 takes and then be a video editor and kind of splice it together to get something that's valuable. But to just try and do live streams and learn how to do what are called live edits, that is a great way to do it. So you can do, take a weekend or an evening or whatever, and just spend 2 hours and say, look, I'm going to do 10 videos, or I'm going to do the same video 10 times, live stream it, and then take a look at them after and went, hey, you know what? That was pretty good. I did that pretty well. Or just went, no, don't do that again. So, I just practice that, and I do live streams. And there's two ways to do live streams, and I'll show this to you quickly. The cool thing about live streams is when you're getting started, um, you don't need any fancy equipment to do all of the fancy stuff that starts. So if you go and you use StreamYard, for example, which is a online streaming broadcast, is one of these ones. This one isn't my account, so let's go. So these ones here, when you do a live stream, if you've ever seen anyone do any of these webinars or live streams, for example, like me right now, where I have this view, I have a zoomed in view, I have one with my with my head in the corner. I've got one here which is with the sidebar with my head. I've got one here with the chat. Those things are in StreamYard, and you can basically open up a StreamYard account and play around with it and just get used to, here's my screen with a talking head, here's a talking head. If I want to interview someone, or if I just want to have both, you can play around. They have all of these set up, and you can just do a couple to go, oh, this is what works, this what doesn't work. And then try and do a video or two, even if they're lessons, not YouTube videos. Just do lessons and practice, and you'll get better at it just by looking at what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong and what you're comfortable with in terms of presenting. And that's the other thing, that if you're uncomfortable, I'm old enough now that I really don't give a hoot about what other people think about the stuff that I do. And I look at it as a TV station, right? Some people tune in, some people don't. If they like the channel they're tuned in on, they'll watch more. If they don't, that's fine too. I get some people that give me heck all the time, or they don't like my stuff. Maybe they put a comment in. That's cool. That's fine. Don't really bother about that. So here's, I'm just going to go back because I saw one of the questions here was, how about AR avatars for those lazy, cheap, and battle tested? Yeah, battle tested. That's the part. I just want to talk about this because there's one example. As I got older and I have less covering my head in the sun, what happens for me personally is I have to go every year, and you get your skin check, right, to any of the skin cancer stuff. So basically what happens is once or twice a year, I go for a zap. So they take liquid nitrogen, they shoot it on the marks that are questionable, and then you basically are left till the next year. So the thing that's going to be interesting for me personally is my appointment for this year is on Friday morning. So for New Zealand, it's Thursday, the day after today. It's Wednesday for me, but so in 2 days. So it's going to end up that in Monday next week, I'm going to end up, for example, where I'm going to have a big black kind of scab here where I got zapped and marks up here on the top of my head. So here's an example where, do I have to ask myself, do I really care if I go and I have some black marks on my face because I got zapped? Or would I stop doing business and stop showing my face because I have a mark on it? So being comfortable with yourself and being able to go and have some, pretty wicked marks on you because you went and got zapped at the doctor. I'll be here next week. So I might explain it at the time, but you have to have a bit of a thick skin and say, that's cool. I'm going to go and we'll fan the flames and don't worry about it. The question I had, one of the questions that came up was, and I think it's Davida or Davida. I'm not sure. apologize if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. How about the AR avatars for those who are not comfortable in front of the camera? Is this a viable option? Here's my personal take on it. It is and it isn't. And let me, I'm going to go to a channel, actually, which one I'm going to go to a YouTube channel now. And this is an interesting question. And it's the purpose of for what you're doing it for. So I'm opening up a YouTube channel. I'm just going to find the actual person that I subscribe to, because this is pretty cool, actually. Let me just see. I'm on my own account here. I'm just going to go and see. Just trying to remember. I got an email from her this morning. Just want to go through. I can't find it. Here's the thing as I'm kind of scrolling through this. The question is, can I get by with an avatar? And there's actually a channel. Here it is. Okay, if you get a chance, and I'll put the link to here, there's a lady by the name of Julia McCoy. Okay, and she's got all of these videos here. And I'll play one, and then I want you to take a look at it because there's something interesting on it. So I'm going to play this one, see if we get with no echo. I'll just let this play and we'll see what happens.
You're unique, and your identity should be too. Help protect yourself with TELUS Online Security.
Hi, I'm Joe Delaney. Today we're going to talk about what's the fastest way to get to a 10% body fat and still look and feel okay.
Deep into that transition, the good, the bad, and yes, even the ugly. Because the truth is, we can't just skip ahead to the utopian part, the best case scenario. I am a rational optimist, so that's where I go. I've seen the very worst of situations work out for the incredible.
Now you're probably looking at that and go, wow, she's got a great presence. Everything's cool. She sounds okay. She's talking normally. She's not real. That's an avatar. So she does these videos. Julia McCoy, 100,000 subscribers right now, 645 comments. She does these videos. It is not her. I don't think it's her voice. I'm not sure. Everyone was wondering about it, but my understanding is that none of the videos that she's done is actually her. She's not a real person. Now, here's why it's important. The company that she has is an AI company, and these are one of the services that they sell, right? So if if you have an AR avatar, it has to support the purpose of the company, and I think it has to be done consistently. If I look at any of the other videos that she's done, it's always kind of the same one. She's in the same room, and these take a while to be done, and there's a lot of work that gets done to make them look like they're a real person. If you're just doing shorts or something, you may be able to get through it. But if you're actually doing a video that is an educational video, I think it's too much work right now to be able to get something that serves the purpose of what it is that you want. And the other thing here is that if you are going to be in the education space and you want to be, your expertise is the part that you're selling, not your content, the ability to actually see you and interact with you has a lot more value, and people becoming more comfortable with you as opposed to becoming comfortable with your avatar or the cartoon character of yourself, even if it does have your voice. So yes, you can use it if it supports your business model and what you're trying to accomplish, and if you do them well, and if you're not worried about gaining rapport of a personal nature with people. So hopefully that kind of helps. That's my personal gig on it. There are some great tools that do that. One of the ones that I'm excited about is actually one of the ones I saw in Manus was one of the tasks they gave was write us video script. This is a great example of Manus. The whole thing with Manus in this particular one was, and I saw this as a demo in one of the ones I was looking at. Basically, they said, hey, research these topics. For the first 5 topics, take the first one, write a YouTube script for it, take the YouTube video script, take the script, give it to 11 Labs to create the audio in this voice, and then take the audio from 11 Labs and give it to HeyGen so that a person's avatar actually did it. So it is available. The only thing with these tools is they're very expensive to do, and you're limited to the length of time you can use the video. So that's the part that's people are going to be able to do that pretty quickly, right? You got Manus AI, and you just say, hey, I want to do a YouTube video on this, make my avatar do it, write the script, give it to 11 Labs. It's got my artificial voice, send it to HeyGen to my avatar, and it's done. So if you want to do that to start, yeah, absolutely, I would do it if you're so uncomfortable in front of the camera to do it. On the other hand, while you're doing that, I would get used to playing around and mucking up at the start, and realize that your voice sounds okay, you look okay, you make mistakes, and that's okay. You're not creating the next Mission Impossible movie. It's like, hey, I'm sharing myself and my experience. I want to earn some money from it. Get to know, like, and trust me. So hopefully that part's helped. Let me just go on a couple other questions here. We'll rifle through them. And again, do you watch Avatar videos all the way through? I just want to talk about that one. Yeah, she has some really cool stuff. And the reason is it's because it's in the space that I'm interested in. That one is covering topics, so I do watch more of them rather than not. And again, this is some of the stuff I watch hers, and she does stuff that's more business to business stuff, but I look at it in a way and I just go, hey, this is something, how does it apply to an online course business or an online education business? So yeah, I'll try and put the link for that one below so that we have it. Her name's Julia McCoy. She stopped for a while, and then she actually got the email from her that she came back. The other one that I watched today, let me just pull that one up. Where is it? This one was just today. Where is it? There it is.
Comma separated up to 500 characters in total.
Here's one here. This one, and I'll stop it just for a second. This is Creator Magic, and what he did here is, this is that example I was showing you. He used Zapier to basically look at the top trends from Google Trends, and he basically, followed one of the trends, had ChatGPT write a script, or Claude write a script, had that to run off to 11 Labs, and done. So he basically had a Zapier task to go and run that. And again, this was with his. See if we can get it at the start here. Oh, it's going to the ads. Sorry.
So
went to the ads. Sorry. Oh, crap. I wasn't showing the right one. Let me just bring this one back.
Comma separated up to 500 characters in total. We'll click continue. And you know what? Before we do that.
Yeah, sorry. This is the one that was there. So this is basically, he ran a Zapier task, had it hooked up, that went through that process for an avatar person to actually do it. And let me just see if I can find the avatar for him here that he did. And he was doing it for shorts, not for full videos. And I'll put the link to this one as well. Let's see if this comes up. No, this one it doesn't. Yeah, so that's the idea. For a full video, I don't think we're there yet. Too expensive, too long. So yeah, you can start with that, but kind of do it. The other question here, hopefully that helps. Watch Avatar through, viable option, yeah. What benefit is it to have free customers in your campus? Excellent question. So let me just take a sip of coffee here. 45 minutes, holy mackerel. Yeah, there's a good one, David. Just look at the Omni-Human by ByteDance, and you'll see it in a few months. Yeah, that's the other cool thing that's happening is there were a couple, I think by Alibaba, which is like the Amazon in China and the East. They're heavily into AI. They're kind of like Amazon too. So they got a lot of technical resources. They just came out with a text to video model that is like VO2 from Google. That one does longer ones. I think it's something like One or Quan 2, I think is the name of it. Again, I have it in my link of videos to be able to do, but it's one that does longer videos. So you're going to be able to basically give the video to people and the task and be able to create stuff. So there's, I don't know about OmniHuman, have seen that one, but it's probably another one that's similar in that respect. So it's coming. It is coming. You have to decide, does it fit my business or not fit my business? So here's the kind of thing for any of these businesses that anyone is wanting to create or thinking about create. And it's why I do a free level in my member area. I look at this as my personal approach to it. I do not use sales funnels. I use community pyramids. So I flip it upside down and look at it a different way. And my video pencil, which I normally would use here, is charging, so I'm not going to be able to actually show this. But instead of having a traditional lead magnet at the top and sending emails, funneling people down, hopefully they'll buy something, I do it the opposite way around. So I look at the bottom of this, I look at that and say, this is my YouTube audience, and I just want people to be in the YouTube audience. That's the foundation of the business. But what I want to do from here is I want to get people's email address. When we first started, everything was about the email address, and it still is. The email is the one thing that allows you to reach out on a one-to-one basis anytime that you want to anyone where you have their email list. So I look at when I have someone who I get to raise their hand to say, hey, there's some great information on YouTube. I want to learn more. Technically, I believe I am buying their email address. And the way that I buy their is by saying, hey, come join my community for free. So I look at it and say, hey, learn how to start, build, and grow your own education business. Fill in the form. I'm purchasing someone's email address here. There's the join page. I'm purchasing someone's email address, and that is the free part of my community. And the free part of the community is DIY information. So there's going to be people that want to know how to do it themselves. So I make my content available for free for the people, and I'm purchasing their email address because once I have it, I'm now in a position that I can reach out to other people. Personally, DIY is free, community access is free, content is free, but done with you and done for you are those upper parts of my education business pyramid. So hopefully that makes sense. That's why I give away free content. And this is getting more and more important because free content, everything's free now. The minute you make a course, a traditional course, the second you do that, it's out of date. If you're learning how to play a piano or a guitar, is it out of date? No, not to the extent. The thing is that there's 7 billion other people that can show the exact same thing. There's not 7 billion people that can show how you play it differently or how you teach it differently than those other billions of people with the same content. But the content, for all intents and purposes, is free. The implementation of it is not free. So that's where I monetize my business, is the done with you group and the done for you part. So, some of the things that, that I have personally is just to show you. If I go and we'll pick up the site again, I'll just go, sorry, wrong. Make sure I'm in the right place here. So in my particular case, on the site here, you'll see that I have members and mentoring, and I can have people who want to be part of the group here for the paid sessions. I already have it because I'm logged in as an administrator. So, if you want to be part, I have a monthly, quarterly, and yearly thing where you actually get access to live classes and to me once a week where we do implementations of things. So it's not like these where I'm answering questions. These are Zoom calls where we basically work on stuff on your site, in your campus, on your course, live in real time. So that's the first kind of step up for me. The other thing that I do is here we go. We'll just go to, this is trainingsites.io /teach. So, services is here. expert help is the upgrade I was just on, service as a service. So group mentoring, private mentoring, building the entire campus. So if you want a site exactly like mine, and then I have additional support packages for ongoing support, where that's where my agency stuff is. And then, just some of the managed other services that we have. So I've got a whole bunch of other additional revenue streams, things like we've got a email marketing automation service where we have ones that we can either set up on your site, or I have a active campaign white label service. If you're not familiar with active campaign, it's a CRM, an email marketing automation tool that's there. So there's all these additional revenue things, but I purchased the right to be able to market these to people by letting them have access to the free content that I have in the community. So that's kind of the business approach I use. And the reason I use it is because content is free now, and it's even going to get more free. So if I can get people into this, that's a far easier way of doing it. So one of the question was, what's first, YouTube videos or setting up the campus? That's the yes is the answer. I would do both at the same time. I think, if you look at, if let's say what you might be taught right now on YouTube on how to get started on YouTube, a lot of people will say, or a lot of the other people who are how to start a YouTube one, is this goes back to the Moneyball. They say, create one YouTube video a week. And so you got 52 a year. And it may cost you money and multiple takes to get a well-produced YouTube video that covers the content that you want. But if you do that once a week, that's 52 at bats, right? That's all we have is 52 at bats. If you do YouTube videos and you focus it on marketing or using it for marketing, what you're doing is, if I do one or two a day, just quick ones, this is my second one today, but if I do quick ones just talking about the stuff that I know and I love and I'm learning about, if I do that twice a day and I do it 5 days a week, that's 10 times 52 weeks a year. So that's 520 at bats. So do you want 52 or do you want 520 ways to be able to be found? So I think that you have to start doing YouTube now. And in the meantime, yes, you can create an actual website. If you're really stuck, just use your YouTube channel. And I don't know if you have to be monetized now, but they have a community tab right within your YouTube channel. So if you want to go and actually start building your community or start, working on it, let me just go and see if this one's here. You know what? I'm not entirely sure on that one, where it is. Where's the one? Not sure where it is. I don't know where it is, but there is a community tab. I'll have to find it there. Don't remember where it is right now. Maybe I don't have it turned on. But you can create a community directly within the site, within YouTube if you have to. If not, spin up a YouTube site. Pardon me, a WordPress site. Super easy to do. And you can put a basic site where you put your YouTube videos and have them gated if you want to, or just get Fluent Community, which is the one that I use. They have a free version. Maybe next week what we'll do is I'll show you how to get a community set up in 15 minutes. But pretty straightforward, easy to do. And then you have a community and people have to join to be able to get something like your opt-in that you've been talking about, or those things. And the reason that I do it this way as well is because if you use a landing page and you're giving something away, and you have a landing page on a website or maybe a service that you've used, you still have to get people to the landing page. And it's either you buying leads or buying visits, or you generating visits, either by paying for them and or getting people to send them, or getting SEO or any of those organic ways to try and do that. So either way, you still have to get people to it. I think the easiest and more straightforward way is to get the YouTube stuff done and get people into a basic community. And what you can put in the community, and the way that I do it, and again, this is an easy thing to do, is if I go to my particular community, I've got 400 YouTube videos that are now, but basically what I do is pretty soon after a YouTube gets created, what happens is I take that YouTube video. We'll open this one up. Let me just see if we can spin it up here. Here we go. There we go. So what happens is, what I do is when I actually create a YouTube video, I go to the videos tab on my site, and the videos here from YouTube. This is directly from YouTube. And then what I do is I use a little ChatGPT one and create a synopsis, 10 takeaway points, next steps kind of thing, action items. And this is taken directly from the YouTube video. So this is not on YouTube. I just put it on my website. And the cool thing here is that this is why I don't worry about SEO. If I am doing a video about a particular topic, I would hope that I'm talking about the keywords that I'm focusing on, or the information that I'm focusing on in the video. It's stuff that should be in the text. So if I go and do, this takes what, 5 minutes to run a prompt and paste it into a WordPress site as example. This is done for me. And this by default, this better be keyword SEO optimized, because this stuff here was generated and it's based on what I was talking about. So I don't do any optimization on it. I don't do any SEO stuff or tricks. I just put it here, and every video that gets created on YouTube gets created in my tutorial library. So they're all there, they're searchable. And again, I'm trying to break them into playlists, that kind of stuff. But there's no rocket science or anything there trying to get people for traffic. YouTube, they find me there. If they don't, they may find me on the website, but I'm not paying for any ads, and I'm not trying to get people to do some kind of opt-in. I don't want to give them a checklist. I want them to start watching some videos to hear what I have to say, or the way that I say it, so that some of it makes sense to people. If I give someone a checklist on a LinkedIn or a PDF or some ebook that's been written, I from my personal experience is, first of all, I don't read it. I lose it somewhere on some kind of download link that I put somewhere, even if I get the download link, and I never look at it again. However, if I get someone to watch 2 or 3 videos of mine, at some point they're going to go, hey, I want to go and join the community and find out a little bit more about what's going on. So it's a different kind of giveaway when you kind of approach it that way. So having a place, your platform to basically get people into, so that they're not in the audience of the YouTube audience, they're in your personal audience now. That's my particular goal, or the value that I think, if you're going to look at it from a business, we're going to have to be focusing on over the future. And there's a number of ways to do that. Sometimes sometimes people will focus on, I've got a website, I want a separate service for my community, and then I want a separate service for my marketing, and then I want a separate service for my knowledge base and my billing system. And then you kind of have to kludge it all together. The way that I look at it personally is, I want it all in one place that I can control. And that's why I do everything here on WordPress. Everything, my entire business runs here on the WordPress site. So the billing, the community, the coaching, the booking, the support desk, the project management, it's all here on one particular site, as opposed to using a third-party service like Kajabi, which does have kind of everything like this, but it's like their system, and you're in that particular system. Your business is there in that service. So that's when I talk about the platform is kind of a key part of that moving forward. So grabbing email from a landing page, creating a database entries with people who might only visit your campus once. And again, here's visit the campus once is kind of a cool one. If someone does visit the campus once and they don't sign up, but they're on YouTube again and they have watched a couple videos, maybe my feed may come up again. Or if I'm doing enough videos and it's about a topic they're interested in, it's going to show up again for them. So they may come a second time or a third time. If they don't come to my landing page, if they don't visit my landing page that one time when I've paid for an ad or got them to go there, they're not going to go look specifically for your landing page again. They'll either go to your website to hopefully find there's a pop-up if they remember a name or they find a link maybe in the PDF that you wanted, but they're on YouTube already. It's the second largest search engine, and I think probably the biggest one for the majority of people who are in any kind of small business or who are trying to learn something. Like if you're trying to learn something, I don't go to Google. I go to find out, show me a video, even if it's about stuff I'm doing around the house, or, like how to fix a car, how to do something in the yard. You just go to YouTube. You want to be shown how to do it. So, that focus on YouTube and getting people into your space and consolidating your topic for people, it saves a lot of energy for them instead of having to search on YouTube, but to go, oh yeah, there's James that has all that stuff about creating courses in AI and building communities. So I would, that's my particular approach to it. Hopefully that kind of works out doing that. So what I will do, I am going to show you kind of a little trick that I have that automates how this works. And if you haven't seen this before, it is in some of the other videos, but again, just being lazy, I'm going to show you kind of how this business model works for me in terms of allowing me to get a lot done without having to do a lot of traditional work. So again, this is my business model. It's not the only one. There's all sorts of variations of it, and it has to do with understanding. And I will show you this first because this one is important. If you go to the trainingsites.io site, and if you haven't joined, please go and join. So it's let me just see. So the link there's on the page, trainingsites.io/join. It's my AI learning community. It's free to join. All of my course content is in here. So one of the courses that I have, and you get an email right at the start, you get a couple of them with links to this, is on the left-hand side where you can now see my mouse moving on the left-hand side here. If you look here, there's one that says Campus Map, okay? In the Campus Map, this is the 10-step business model that I have here, and it's the one that we build for clients that has worked really, really well. And what it is the first part is making sure that you have a viable topic and that you're focused on the story that you want to be able to tell. And in that, I show what's called a content authority map or topical authority map, which is, if you've heard me talk about it before, it's like one topic, 10 or 15 kind of categories of that topic, and then 25 to 30 questions about each of the individual categories. And there's huge benefits in that because it gives you all the content in the world to talk about on your YouTube video. And if they're put together, it actually creates the course content for you. But that's the first step. The other one is the campus goals in education business. So this is the one where you should do these in order, because if you do, or you put this together, what happens is that, do I have a campus one, or am I going to sell a course and focus on services? This lets you know what kind of business model that you should use to reach the particular goals, and then actually have that kind of proven products list. So if you haven't done this, please go through this course and basically get a handle on it. And again, all of the information, the videos are there, and I've even included all of my mind maps for each of these particular pieces of it to go through the steps that are important. So go and take that one. It's Campus Map. It's free to join. That is the business model in a nutshell, just starting off with there. So how do I apply it, and what are the things that I have in this space here, which are choosing the right tools, and the next one is build your online campus. These are the ones, putting your stuff together. And this is the one where I cover these different options. This is the way that I have it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put myself back on the screen. And if there are any questions before, how long have I been going? 2 hours. Okay, been going 2 hours. If there are any last questions before I show this, while I'm showing it, actually put them in, and I'll make sure to try and cover those when I'm finished. So here's basically how I do it. I'm going to open up some stuff in the background so that you see it. And we'll do this one. We'll open a new tab. And then I'm going to go and we'll do one more. I'm just opening some windows in the background. Some of them are in the back end of my site, so I just want to make sure we get to the appropriate place before I start going through all of them. In a nutshell, the way that I do this is I start off and I create a YouTube video. I get the YouTube video. The purpose of the YouTube video is to build rapport, get people to know, like, and trust me, and understand that I am someone who knows this topic in great detail and can talk about going from point A to point Z in this particular topic. So that's kind of my goal for this whole space. Then from there, what I do is I take my YouTube videos and I end up bringing them in to my video tutorials. So I have these video tutorials from YouTube videos. I showed you just briefly. What I do from here is I use ChatGPT to basically create the text or information about it so that I can reuse or repurpose the video on the site. It's keyword friendly. I don't have to do any SEO optimization, anything like that, but it's here. So I got content coming out. Video content gets created from there. The next thing that I do from there is I do have a social media tool called Bit Social, which is actually the people that created CapCut, which is a great video editor that's on your phone or on your desktop. And what this one does is, one of the services is, when you publish a new WordPress post, the public shares the post on all active accounts automatically. So the very second that I post this video to my page in my campus, it automatically posts to my Facebook pages, my LinkedIn pages. And I think those are the ones that I have set up. I don't do Instagram, but you could. TikTok, I probably could if I wanted to. But those are the ones that I do. So it posts. I don't have to do anything. And when it posts, it uses this image of the video and then again, some of the text at the beginning, just like I was posting. But if someone is on social media, what happens is they come back to this page. I don't send them to the YouTube video where I can't get their email address, but they come here to the site. One of the things that does happen is I have that opt-in pop-up that shows up on the right-hand side here. So they may go and say, oh, there's more libraries. I watched the video. What are some of the others here? Oh, there's more videos. Oh, there's a community, there's courses, there's services. I can search through these. So now they're in my platform, and it's my platform. It's not the YouTube platform, it's my platform. So what have I done there? I created a YouTube video. I automatically created what was traditionally a blog post, but it's a video post. I've automatically posted to social media, and all of that stuff brings them back to my community where I have the opportunity to get their email address or get them in the community. So that's kind of the way that it works. The one part that I haven't turned on yet, which is just kind of happening in the background, is that I have Fluent CRM. I wonder if I can find this one quickly. Maybe I'll do another time. I have Fluent CRM, which is on the site. And basically what happens is someone joins. I have a complete onboarding series of emails that go out, but I also have another automation that says if they visit this page and show an interest in this, start talking about these courses or these services. So I basically automate their way through the particular course. I haven't turned it on for this campus, this learning site, and that's the part that's just starting. So that whole engagement of people in the community, of guiding people to the different places, whether it's joining some of the paid classes or the free classes like this one, whether it's about going into a course or being involved in one of the groups, that is now done with email directly within the campus. So hopefully that kind of helps out. Again, it's all in one. It's mine. It's not a whole bunch of different ones all over the place. This is the way I approach it for a business, and we'll see what happens here kind of moving forward with and when all of these changes in AI happen. Because when I first started out, it was all about a closed membership, right? It was all about get people in, do a lead magnet, and have all your courses kind of hidden and paid for, and you had to buy to get in, and keep on creating great content for people. That's really hard. It's not easy to do anymore. And the fact that the courses, even if you have a great course that you spent 6 months putting together and had the videos professionally done, I don't think that's really going to make much of a difference when someone can do a search on YouTube and or create their own course if they're up to speed on AI, which they will be, even if they don't like it. It's going to be on your phone pretty soon if it isn't already. So hopefully that kind of helps going on there. Is there any other questions? What have I got there? Holy mackerel! I get going on these things, and again, I do them. I do them every Wednesday. I do them at 1. If you haven't already, I would love to see you on trainingsites.io/join. The one that is starting to happen now is the paid members are going to be able to have available to the courses that are happening on a regular basis that are not, sorry, they're not courses, they're classes. So these are the ones where you're going to find here classes. You're going to be able to go and take a look at creating content where we're actually going to create content during the actual class. We'll use the prompts. I'm going to say, hey, run it on your own desktop. What did you get? How did it work? What didn't work? What did work? But we're actually going to implement the stuff. So these are the ones that are going to be available moving forward on a regular basis. Every week there's going to be a live one. And these are the ones that are available for the paid members, the people who have upgraded and got that expert help, technically me at this point, going forward and doing it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I have a lot of fun doing these. If you haven't already, please start doing YouTube videos. And secondly, get your research done to know what it is that you want to talk about moving forward, and then start building your campus. My personal preference is is WordPress. Doesn't have to be, again, depending on the size of your business, what else you're selling, and how you want to sell it, and whether you want to be in control of it. So classes and courses. Okay, I'll do that last one before we leave, because that one's important. Question is, what's the difference between a class and a course? Okay, good question. If I'm here on a course, and let me just make sure. Let's say I'm on a course, and I go and I take the campus map course, and I look at the courses here, and I see that I've got a video, and I've got some text, and in the text, I've got your first task. I've got these 5 things to do, right? So you've got a static video, and then I'm telling you, identify your potential topics, and I'm telling you 5 things to do. So you go, okay, great, I saw that, next video. You click on it, you say you've completed it, and then create the topical authority map, and then create mine. You go through, and then, here it is. Here's your tasks. Do your work. Now, right now, the stats that I've seen on completion rates on Udemy, for example, which is a course place, the course, even for the top instructors, the course completion rate, I think they said was 8 or 11%. So of 100 people that take the course, 11 people will actually complete all of the lessons. And I don't even have an idea of what the actual people will do on these 10 lessons and go and actually do the 5 tasks. So a course is a static dump of information, of content. Some of them will have assignments. Some of them will have quizzes so that you can, remember or recall content, but there's no implementation of the content whatsoever. And it's you by yourself. It's online self-directed learning. That is a course. And there's different sizes of courses. You can have a micro course, a mini course, a full course, a complete program, but it's you and the content. So that's what I call a course. On the other hand, what a class is again, it is, and this is how I approach it. When I think of a class, what I think of is an instructor or a mentor or a guide. And what we do is we say, you know what, we're going to cover number 1, which was finding a good topic or building that topical authority map. And it's live, interactive. Here is your task. Go and run it. It's not lecturing about content. It's like, here's the task, go and do it. How did it work? What happened? And these are generally done in smaller groups where you have a group of people working together on a particular task and the implementation of it. So you can look at all of this content and be a DIYer and go, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But if you go and you say, well, I did that, or I missed a piece, or how come it's not working when I did this? That's when you go to a class and you say, how come this worked? Or how come this didn't work? Or I'm stuck here? Or what should I do next? Or if I wanted it to work this way, what is your suggestion on how I might accomplish that? So courses are static, classes are interactive with an actual teacher, guide, lecturer, whatever you want to call it, but someone will actually do the work with you and actually approach it. So that's the way that I'm doing it. It's not about lecturing content. It's not a webinar. It's not something like this where I'm, just answering questions, although that might be part of it. But I'm trying to get people to actually do what it is that I'm talking about. So those are those live classes that go with it. So hopefully that kind of helps out for you. Classes and courses. There we go. Okay, what have I got here? Still 7 people on, but I've been going for an hour and 15 minutes, 60, 75 minutes. Here's what will happen after this today, just so that you have it. What'll happen is I will go, and when this is ready and the transcription is done, I will run the prompt to get the detailed content from it. It will be added to the tutorials. In the tutorials, it'll have the additional content, and then social media posts will go out with the graphics from the open classroom with links back to that thing on the tutorial. And then I'll announce it with an email saying that it was actually done. So that's kind of the workflow. And that's what I do on a daily basis. It's a lot of fun creating content, but if you want to get and take that next step and basically get some help doing this, just make sure to go to trainingsites.io/pass, and you'll have the opportunity to come in and have access to those Zoom calls, all of the content, and actually some private messaging as well with me, with the people who are also paid members. So hopefully that helps you out. Had a blast. Going to be here next week, and get ready for some really cool stuff that's happening in the AI space, because Manus rocks. And we're going to be having a lot of fun moving forward. So James Maduke, trainingsites.io. Take care. Expect the best. Join up, like, and subscribe to the channel. That's it. That's all.